As a former nurse and having worked in the health service, I have an interest beyond that of just being a patient. And I look at it from a different point of view. I've also done work in the health service in a professional capacity as a risk manager. It bothers me. I look back at the health service when I was a kid and think, my mum used to take me along to the doctors and I sat in the waiting room and I saw a doctor and we were never turned away. And if I needed an appointment for something, I might have a waiting list to wait on, but it wouldn't be that long. And I'd go into hospital, get it done, come out again. Nowadays, it takes me 15 days to get an appointment to see my doctor, unless I tell them it's urgent. I don't do that very often. Nothing ever seems that urgent, if you know what I mean. So I end up waiting. It's really not good. And I look at it and think, why have they not done something more sensible with this? You know, we have to accept that the health service was designed for a population of about 46 million people. That the life expectancy at the time was 62, 63. Depending on who you believe, we've now got a population of between 60 and 70 million. And we have a life expectancy of 82 for men and 83 for women. Added to that, we've got a huge leap forward in medical technology and what medicine is able to achieve, which is fantastic. But nobody seems to have accounted for these things. We've got a shortage of doctors and nurses at the moment. Why? Well, we've got a shortage of nurses because when trust status was introduced, the trusts had to balance their books before they could get trust status. One of the ways they actually rigged the books on those occasions was to commission the training of far less nurses than they actually knew they were going to need, because it kept their costs down. So now we have a shortage of nurses. We have a shortage of hospital beds. Over the years, not one hospital that I can think of that has been built as a replacement for another hospital has had more beds than the original. In fact, most have been built with less beds. Why? Because the doctors' organisations had been advising government, successive governments, that we don't need so many because we do so much more day surgery, because we don't keep people in hospital for so long, because technology is there that we can do it outside. They never ever considered the idea that the population explosion or that the advance of medical science would necessitate more beds, not less. And then we come to PFI. PFI is taking upwards of 5% of every NHS trust's budget. They will never own those buildings. They'll keep on having to rent them for the next 25 years. Had the health service been run decently, these things would never have happened. What we need to do is to actually have a proper look at the health service, a proper requirements exercise, if you like, and then we can say this is what is needed and this is how it could be done, and put it to the population and say, how do you like this? Because I think that's the only way out of it. We in UKIP are desperate to do what the population wants. The population wants the health service maintained free at the point of need. Politicians are the servants of the public who elect them and pay their wages. That is what we must do for them. We must produce a plan that can maintain the health service free at the point of need. I think where we are at the moment with UKIP is that we can put extra money into it, and we've committed to put extra money into it, and we've committed to have extra doctors and nurses. But there's a timeline on that because of the training. It's inevitable. You can't train people overnight. So we do have the start of a plan in place, and we will keep the health service free at the point of need. But I think we need to look at that as being a bridge to a properly researched and funded NHS. And we have to give the people the opportunity to look at our plans and say that that's what they want.